Back to the book. Various records and accounts have been passed down over the ages with regard to the true meaning of jiu-jitsu. Then he's talking about the actual word jiu-jitsu. But few of them are accurate. It can be said, though, that the name apparently derived from the expression Juyoko go Osheshu, which can be translated as softness controls hardness. This expression needs closer attention. Let's assume I have an opponent who possesses power to the value of 10, whereas I must face this opponent with power only to the value of 7. When my opponent thrusts at me with all of his energy, it follows that if I resist, I will be overcome, even if I expend all my power. If, however, rather than resist my more powerful opponent, I adjust and adapt to his energy and pull back, he will fall forward under the strength of his own attack. His power of 10 will become merely a power of 3, and he will stumble and lose his balance. I will not be pulled off balance and can pull away, maintain my stance, and retain my original power of 7. In short, resisting a more powerful opponent will result in your defeat, whilst adjusting you to and evading your opponent's attack will cause him to lose his balance, his power will be reduced, and you will defeat him. This can apply whatever the relative values of power, thus making it possible for weaker opponents to beat significantly stronger ones. There you go.
Yes, sir.
That's the way it works. Can a level 10 beat a level? Can a level 1 beat a level 10? That's tricky. There's a point, right?
Yeah.
There's a point where, like, yeah.
Yeah, because there's like even that what he's talking about. I like how he did it in numbers, like how he did that. But the reality is like that. It's again cool to have the numbers, but it's not. They're not absolute numbers. There's a lot of gray area in there. So the idea is to take his 10 and use almost like using part of his 10 for on top of your 7 because you're going the same way. Sure. But it's like, how much of that 10 are you going to use? If you're 1, you better be using 9.
You better be a master.
Yeah, you got to be using a lot of his number. His
but
numbers.
This is one of those things. This is one of those things that I subconsciously learned from jiu-jitsu, and I applied it all the time, especially in dealing with relationships. And I've talked about it here a million times of like, hey, don't attack the ego, don't attack the strong point, right?
Yeah,
that's just complete jiu-jitsu mentality. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah,
and it works. If you attack that strong point, Sun Tzu, Art of War, 2,500 years old. If you attack the heavily defended position, you're not going to win. Yeah. If you go against a power of 10 and you've only got a power 7, you're not going to win.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
Even if you use full power.
Even if you use full power. In fact, it's going to be worse for you, especially if the other guy knows he's going to use that 7. He's going to use that in addition to his 10. He's going to beat you with a 17-0.
Yeah, and that actually backs up or kind of refers back to your point where when you say can a level 1 beat a level 10. So a level, if they both know jiu-jitsu or judo, then it's way, because he knows the same thing as you. But, if you're 9, if you're better than the guy, a factor of 9, then, your chances start to go up as a 1.
For sure. No doubt about that.
But I think that's where people, they get jammed up, where they're like, hey, I thought size didn't matter in jiu-jitsu. Oh. Well, yeah, if everyone's doing jiu-jitsu, of course size matters. Yeah. Just like condition's going to matter. Just like how tall it matters, how strong it matters when you all know the jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. That's like a dude said the other day, jiu-jitsu is not as important in the UFC as it was. The guy that just beat Verdum, big, tall, badass guy from Russia, Kalkov or something. Sorry, bro. But he said, hey, it's not as important anymore. And the fact that you're right. You know why it's not as important? Because everybody knows it now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not as important. If you roll in there without knowing any jiu-jitsu, you're going to get submitted.
You see how important it is.
Yeah, exactly.